Hello, everyone. Once again, it is Tuesday and it is story time with Teacher Cole. As many of you know, I am still recovering from pneumonia and COVID, so I will not be doing a live story today. I instead will be bringing back one of my old stories, The Octopus. It is a lovely story about a grandpa who helps his grandson feel better when sick. I thought this was very appropriate. So let's get to our wonderful story today.
The Octopus. Grandpa Spanielson's Chicken Pox Stories. Story number 1. It is written by Denys Cazet. Dr. Storkmeyer closed his black bag. Chicken pox, he said. This pup has the chicken pox. Grandpa shook his head. He has more spots than a Dalmatian. It itches too, said Barney. A warm bath will help, said Grandma. And here's some lotion, added the doctor. How long before he's better? Grandpa asked. The fever will go away soon, said the doctor, picking up his bag. Give him warm, soapy baths and plenty of rest. The rash should go away in a few weeks. A few weeks! Cried Grandpa. My favorite grandpup has to itch for weeks? That's how long it takes, said the doctor. I can cure him faster than that, said Grandpa. Dr. Storkmeyer laughed. I've known you for 70 years. You couldn't cure a ham. I'll see you tomorrow. Barney sat up. You know how to cure the chicken pops, Grandpa? Easy, said Grandpa. And I can do it for free. How? Asked Barney. I'll drive them out with my famous anti-itch chicken pox stories. Go ahead, Grandpa. I'm burning up, said Barney. Grandpa sat on the edge of the bed. Once upon a time. Don't start now, said Grandma. This boy needs a warm bath. Grandpa went into the bathroom. He filled the tub, and Barney climbed in. Does that take some of the itch away? Grandma asked. Barney nodded. A little. Maybe Grandpa should try one of his anti-itch stories. Grandma rinsed the top of Barney's head with a sponge. I'll be back, she said. Grandpa winked at Barney. Grandma raised her right eyebrow. No scary stories, she added. Grandma closed the door. Okay, Grandpa, Barney whispered. Start driving out the itches. Grandpa rubbed his hands. Okay, he said. Let's start with a scary story. The Octopus. Once upon a time, in the olden days, when Grandpa was much younger, we lived by the sea. One night, there was a terrible storm. The sea turned wild. Waves pounded the shore. It rained so hard the roof rattled. The wind howled, and the shutters banged. There I was, sitting in the bathtub, minding my own business, when it happened. The bath water turned dark. Bubbles oozed. The bathtub shook. The pipes rattled. Yow! Yelled Grandpa. A hurricane burst out of the drain. The wind whistled and thunderclouds roared. Fish rained from the ceiling. I was almost run through by a falling swordfish. The storm got worse. I tried to get out, but something grabbed my tail. It had a head like a giant sponge, with eyes on it, with eyes in it. Its beak snapped at me. Hey! Got you, hairball! Octopus! I shouted, and whacked it with the swordfish. Ow! Whack! Ow! The octopus grabbed another swordfish. We had a sword fight. You dirty dog! Ow! Ha! That's what you think, Jello head! I just took a bath! Ow! The octopus threw a swordfish at me. I grabbed the toilet plunger and squished him. Squish, squish, squish. Thunk. Ow! Ha ha! He tried to drag me down the drain. Squish, squish, squish. Suddenly, the water washed down the hole and the storm ended. The octopus was gone. I looked out the window. The sea was calm that night. We had swordfish for dinner. Wow, said Barney. That was a good anti-itch story. I feel better already. Yes, said Grandpa. My famous anti-itch stories are... Grandpa stopped. He gasped. What? Said Barney. Don't move, Grandpa said. Why? Barney asked. Grandpa pointed at the sponge floating in the bathwater. Look! What? Said Barney. The sponge? That's not a sponge, said Grandpa. What is it? Asked Barney. Octopus! Grandpa shouted. Octopus! Barney shouted. I'll save you! Grandpa yelled. He jumped into the bathtub. He the plug popped out and the water drained away. Grandpa held up the sponge. Its legs are gone, said Barney. The octopus must have gone down the drain, Grandpa said. Now it's just a plain pus. Grandma opened the door. Good heavens! She cried. What happened? Octopus, said Grandpa. Octopus, said Barney. Grandma stared at Grandpa. She raised her right eyebrow. Most people, she said, take their shoes off when they take a bath. Grandpa stepped out of the tub. His shoes squished as he walked over to the closet. He took out a mop. Octopus, he muttered. Grandma wrapped a towel around Barney. Put your pajamas on, she said, and I'll come tuck you in. Are you feeling any better? A little, said Barney. Grandpa's story helped. It was about an octopus. Hmm. Did I ever tell you about how I saved Mrs. Piggerman's life? Grandpa asked. No, said Barney. Well, when I was fire chief, Grandma raised her right eyebrow. Later, she said. Grandpa winked at Barney. Grandpa hummed as he mopped.
Well, this has been the end of our story today. What did you learn about being sick or helping others when they are sick? Do you have wonderful grandparents, aunts, uncles, mom and dad who help you when you're sick? Talk with your parents, and maybe you can help somebody else in the future. Once again, this has been Story Time with Teacher Cole. I am still recovering, so hopefully next week I will be much better and prepared to do a live story for you. As always, feel free to join my group, Teacher Cole's English Corner, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye, everybody.